Nope.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and do your thing here. Okay. Good. Try do you know how to do the pivots?
No.
That's to the immediate left.
Am I pivoting like with my heel, you mean? Or
Correct. So you did that correct, except you'd be going out the other way.
Okay.
So it's you with the right leg.
Okay. Like this?
Right
It's
leg.
harder to do that stationary.
Did you show him this one?
Yeah, like this. You just like do on the right.
Right. Now back on your left.
Like
Now
this?
forward.
Oh, gotcha.
Like that. There you go. That was quick. Good job. The other way. The other leg. There you go.
And I can do the reverse, or
No, so for if you're walking him on your right, so the way this works is we're using leg movements and body language to cue to Starfox what you're doing. So your crossovers were correct. Those are the left turns. Okay. You're leading out with your right leg. Sorry, he's on your right side. You're leading out with your left leg.
Yeah.
All that was correct.
Okay.
So for Starfox, we're not using, like some people will say like right, left when they turn and stuff. Like he doesn't know what that means. We're just using body language, which is why this is so quick. So a couple things that I saw was when you're making the left turn, right turn, it was correct. The movements were correct here, but you're using your hand to slow him down.
Okay.
And we want to be nice and relaxed because he should just be following your body language. Okay. The other thing is you jump straight into the turn, but we also want to remember to slow down. Okay. You drive.
Yeah.
What do you do before you stop?
What's that?
What do you do?
Slow down.
You slow down.
Yeah.
And what do you do before you turn?
From the complete stop, or you're supposed to signal.
Yeah, slow down, stop,
Yeah.
right. So same deal. Otherwise, let's say you're going really fast. If you just turn, like there's risk of flipping your car.
Sure.
If you just abruptly stop, whoever's behind you is going to crash, right? So same thing here for Starfox. You just want to make sure you cue that slow down. And if he's being mindful, right, he's paying attention. If I slow down, he slows down here as well, then I can make that left turn, right turn, no problem. Okay? So there's no need for the hand. If you ever feel like you're doing this, or like some people will like kind of run in front of the dog, something's off. Okay, it's almost always the owner's not slowing down. Okay? So if you slow down and Starfox keeps going, what does this tell us?
That he's not seeing my signal.
Or you're close.
Or I don't know.
So you slow down, right?
Okay.
You did your job.
Yep.
He keeps going.
Oh, he's just like fixed on something?
Yeah, he's not paying attention, right? So then we would just do that abrupt turn like this and tap.
Okay.
Bring him back to our side. There's no point in doing the visual cues because he's not paying attention, okay? So if we're walking together, it should be like you're in unison. You know, so you're walking, you slow down, he slows down, and then I cross, then cross again, and we go the opposite way, and then I can pick up my speed again. Okay, 'cause now we complete the turn. When we're doing the pivot, you're leading with the leg opposite to the turn, so since Starfox is on our right, that's where you extend the right leg, back to the left leg, and then forward to the right like this. Okay, so it's just right, left, right. Okay. So I think what you're doing is this, and then this. If you want to, that's fine, because he's still going to do the same thing. But really, it's just step forward, step back, and then step forward the opposite way. Okay? So the reason why it's effective this way, but not this way, is because if you're going this way, it would be with this leg.
Right.
Right? But if Starfox is here, and I pivot like this, he's going to be on my left side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you're turning inwards, and we're trying to keep him on our right side. So all these movements that we're doing keep Starfox on our right side. So if I turn over him, he's here. Right? If I pivot, right leg is going around. But if you go inwards, this is Starfox, right? Now he's here. We need him to be over here. So if we had him on our left, it would be the reverse. It would be we cross this way and then we extend this way because that's the side it's on. Okay? So the only ones that you have to worry about are the crossover and then the pivot. Okay? This is when Starfox is paying attention. If he's not paying attention and he's going, you just turn, tap, bring him back, and then if you have to turn again, just go back the opposite way.
Do you slow down for the pivoting also?
Yes.
Okay.
Any turns, even soft turns. So like let's say you're going to turn to the left, but you're not going to pivot, right? You're not going to do this. It's going to make a soft turn. Is you would lead it still with the right leg, slow down, right leg would go out like this, then we just this way. Does that make sense? So you're leading with the leg opposite to the turn. When you're turning right, you're leading left. When you're turning left, you're leading right or right like this. Okay? If you're making a soft right turn, you would just cross over and you keep going this way. So always slow down before any turn and before any stop. Okay? And if he keeps going, he's not paying attention, you just turn back, bring him back, and then turn again if you need to go back the opposite way. Okay? So we'll do it a few more times. We'll do them in batches. We'll do the crossovers first. So that's going to be right turns leading with your left leg. We'll do 5 of those and then we'll go into the pivots. Okay? Left, right, left. So, but you see how you're forgetting something.
My arm.
Not your arm. Well, both your
slowing down?
yes, you're slowing down. Okay, so let's try it again. Okay, and you're slowing pre-turn.
What's that?
Before the turn.
Okay.
You slow during the turn.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and speed up. Right. Now you're gonna slow down. Slow, keep straight, keep straight. Yep, keep forward. Then turn. And try it again. Right. Now slow. Then turn. Good. Better. Forward. And hug to the left side of the sidewalk so you have space.
Sure.
There you go. That'll make it easier. There you go. Now you're going to slow walk, keep forward. Better. Better. Go ahead and pick up your pace. Now slow to a stop here. And light pull up. There you go. Good. So you're close. So now, because you're thinking about a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
you got to feel like slowing down.
Yep.
So that's why we're doing this. Is when you're going to turn left, you'll want to be on the left side to give yourself enough space to still be within the sidewalk. Okay. Your movements are correct. You're slowing down now, but what you're doing is now instead of doing this like you were before, you're doing this and then this. Okay. So if we're walking at a brisk pace, slow down. Then left, right, left, right. And you can use the sidewalk as your guide, because then you're like this, and I'm stepping right on the track, very sharp. So if you're on a normal sidewalk, you'll be within the width of that, okay? And then if I keep doing that, I should stay within this like little rectangle here. See that? If I want to just drill them out, so you're kind of like making them square and stuff. How do you want to do this? So if you're doing it correctly, you see how I stay on that like one tap here? It's because I'm keeping a same pattern. So if I'm going to do that correctly, like I shouldn't end up moving here. Okay? We're going to try it again. The slowing down was better. We just, the shift of the legs got a little off, okay? Better. Perfect. There you go. Excellent. 4 more. Forward. Yep, there you go. Right, relax that arm. Now slow. Almost. See how that was awkward? Yeah. So try that again. Right. There you go. You got it. Good job. There you go. You got it. Let's try 3 more. Perfect. 1 more. Good and slow to stop. Very good, much better. Okay. The last one you kind of rushed into it, but if it ever feels awkward, we're doing something incorrectly, or he's not being mindful. So heel is a 2-part thing. Heel is for Starfox to walk with you, stay with you, sit when you stop, right? And then your job is to make sure that Starfox is paying attention, but then also to make sure that you're communicating correctly. So like if you're driving, right, and you just switch lanes and there's someone next to you, you didn't put your blinker or anything like that, you're gonna crash, right? And that would be on you. But if you put your blinker and you did everything that you're supposed to, and that person didn't move or whatever, or moved into you, it would be their fault, right? Same thing here. So we're gonna cover the pivots, which is gonna be right, left, right, going back to the opposite. Okay, so now you're switching turns. Questions? Not yet?
I'll just try that and see how it goes.
Sure.
So I'm stepping out with my left.
You're right.
My right.
The leg, yeah, and then
pivoting to my
left.
Okay.
Yep, perfect. Yep. 3 more. This one tends to be the easiest one.
Yeah, I like this better.
Tap to speed them up here. What's your number?
20.
Let's go down to 12. What's the number been?
Like we do this like for walks.
Okay. Good. 1 more. And slow to a stop. Very good. So now, what we're gonna do, same stuff. You're gonna go heel, walk, stop, and all that. But then you're gonna start shifting between the turns. From pivots to crossovers, however you want. It's random, okay? If everything is correct, if you're slowing down, you're turning correctly and all that stuff, there should be no need for tapping, okay? All of this is done through that body language. All right, questions?
Nope.
All right, go for it. Good job. Good job. Yep, you got it. Good job. Good. Good crossover. Good. Tap forward, tap forward. Good. Good, and then slow to stop. Good. So the only point you have to tap was because he was trying to go over here to mom.
Right.
So then you're just redirecting him back to your side. So we're gonna do the same thing, except I'm gonna shout random stuff at you. Okay?
All right.
So when I give you, like if I say crossover, don't just like jump straight into it. Like if you have to slow down, get that slow down, at least 2 to 3 steps, and then go into the turn. Okay? Because when I say stuff, people just try to rush into it. I'm like, no. You still gotta do the stuff that comes with it. I'm just telling you what to do. Okay? So heel.
Heel.
Crossover. Good. Pivot. Good. Pivot. Good. Slow to stop. Good. Heel.
Heel.
Crossover. That's a pivot. You crossed over but the other way. That's all right. Try it again. There you go. Good job. Good. Crossover again. Yep. Good. Keep forward. Good job. Crossover again. Good. Pivot. No, girls. No. You're getting a lot of distractions today.
Yeah.
And pivot. I'm sorry, forward tap. There you go. Then pivot. Good, and slow to stop. Very good. Jesus. Welcome to Chicago.
Yeah.
You guys been here for a while?
Me about 4 years now.
4 years? Okay. But you just got Starfox recently, right?
Yeah, April. March or April.
Okay. So then quarantine. Well, that's mid-quarantine, right?
Yeah.
April, yeah. So yeah, people with their dogs and stuff is pretty common. So don't be afraid to speak up.
Sure. I don't know if Mujo mentioned it to you, but I think the plan is I'm gonna move out to Washington State. Actually, he's gonna come along.
Okay, gotcha. But he's been doing good. Like he didn't react earlier when that same thing that guy just was like whatever, right? And then he was unsure at first, but like just kind of backing off, which is normal. For dogs, like they're, it's just like with humans. Like if you're walking down the street and you see someone running up to you, you're like, why are you running at me, right? But as humans, like we don't just like, become aggressive. You might be like, is something wrong? What's going on, right? Until you feel like, okay, I feel threatened. Now I need to defend myself. Dogs are more likely to jump to defend themselves. Okay. Yes, there's some dogs that are completely friendly and like are non-threatening or whatever, just as there are some people, but not all of them. Okay. So if he did respond to that, like I would say that's a valid response because somebody two kids ran up to him with their dogs, right? And then he's like, get the hell away from me, right? So as long as your dog's on a leash, by the way, like you're not held liable, as far as I know. If he was to be off leash and something happened, then you'd be responsible. Or if their dog is off leash and your dog is on leash and they ran up to you, and even if you bit them, like they would say like, well, their dog was off leash. Okay, that's how that works.
Sure.
But otherwise, he's done really good with the socialization walks, right?
Yeah, we went like I think last Friday, or Thursday with Kate and Elsa. They did pretty well. We did a walk around the neighborhood, and then we just had both of them out of the rooms, running and walking, leashes on the ground.
Okay.
And they started sniffing each other.
Oh, nice.
Starfox was trying to sit on Elsa all the time.
Really?
If you saw the picture, they were really funny,
Yeah, I thought it was Elsa sitting on Starfox.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
just fun, but yeah, they were pretty good. Walking together really helped. While they're walking, we tried them to force them to sniff each other's butts,
Sure,
but they were nah.
Not doing it? Yeah.
Not doing it.
But when you let them on their own, they start to do it?
Yeah, they started sniffing
good.
each other and then just sitting around each other, so I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, that's how it works. So most people, if you have a very friendly dog, it's created this notion that all dogs are like that. and it's not true. Or like on Instagram now, because like dogs have their own Instagram pages, whatever. Like people see these pictures of them smiling and like their mouth open, and they think the dog is always happy. That's not true either, you know. So here, dogs, you know, just like with humans, like some people need more time to like befriend someone or to trust someone, you know. So the exercise that I showed with the walking together is meant specifically for that. Is to get them comfortable with the dog first. And then like when you let them go and not force it, right? Then you saw they did try to smell each other. That was good because that was on their terms. And they're coexisting and like going next to each other. That's all good stuff. So then like the more like, let's say, you know, you said you're moving to Washington, you know, make friends out there, your friend has a dog, the dog's social, you would do that exercise, you would keep repeating it. And then Starfox would let you know by his behavior when he's like kind of trusted that dog. Because right now he's got the one dog that he's played with since you got him, correct? Yeah. So since he knew that dog from the day you got him, that trust is already there. But then after time, once he settled in, then he becomes more like, I don't know, these other dogs, right? So then you have to rebuild that trust again. So he may not ever be the type which is happy-go-lucky meet another dog, which is perfectly fine. But if you have friends or you move again or whatever, he can make new friends. It's just a little bit of a process. Sure. Okay? Questions about any of this stuff that we covered here? Okay, so that all looked really good. So this stuff like with the leg movements and the pivots and everything like that, that never goes away. That's forever, okay? Because just like with driving, like we always pump our brakes, we always put the blinker on, stop our red lights, all those things. Simply for Starfox, okay? If he ever gets out of line, it's really that abrupt turn. Don't worry about the pivot because he's already not paying attention. Okay? You just turn, tap, bring him back to your side, okay? Trying to think here. So you feel pretty confident on that?
Yeah. So to get him back at my side, I can just keep walking though, right? Do I have to stop to get him back?
If he passes you,
yeah,
that's when you have to turn and tap.
Okay.
So whenever Starfox gets ahead of you, you always have to turn, get tap. Okay? But then let's say you have to go that way, right? So you would turn, but then turn again so that you can go back the same way.
Okay.
So the reason why we have to do that, and if like let's say there's somebody behind you and you can't turn, you can tap Starfox to make him come back. It's just not the best way to do it, okay? Because for Starfox, if he's walking next to you, right, and he gets ahead and you remote him and he jumps back and he looks at you, he's looking at you because he's going, what was that for? But he's looking at you and he's going, but we're going the same direction. So he doesn't tie together that him being over here is bad, okay? So when he passes you, and he feels the remote, and he turns, he goes, oh, Dad's going that way. So when he catches up, it stops. So then he's able to plug in like, oh, every time I feel this, you're going the other way, but when I'm right next to you, nothing happens. So it's teaching him to actually follow you. The other one is like a Band-Aid. The other one's like a Band-Aid, where it's like, I don't have the space to turn around, or there's people behind me or something like that. Or like on the walk when we were socializing the dogs, because we were walking two dogs at once, we couldn't just turn around. Is we just tapped to get the dog to come back. But it's not the best approach. It's kind of like, if that's all you can do, then you runaway stroller. Man, what's going on today? I didn't see the kid. I just saw the stroller rolling. I was like, what? And there was a car accident here yesterday too. So a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, okay. So technically not, it's not the best approach. If that's all you have, you can do so. But don't be surprised if he keeps, it's like back and forth where he keeps just jumping, going ahead, jumping back, going ahead, jumping back. Because he's not tying together that he's supposed to be following you. Okay? Other questions?
That's good.
Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll pop the long leash on and then we'll start covering the long leash recall. We'll keep, it looks like these guys are playing soccer, we'll keep it right here. All right, and then we'll give Jonathan the long leash.
Albert.
Or I'm sorry, Albert. I'm sorry, my friend. Albert, the long leash. I don't know why. I think I worked with you look like a friend of mine.
Yeah.
From like 8 years ago, and his name was Jonathan. I get called Jose because my name's Jesus. So I get called Jose. I'm like, it's close enough. But I was way off with Jonathan and Albert, man.
Well, it's technically my full name is Albert John, so.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. That's what it was. So I'm gonna have you just show me what Andra showed you.
Okay.
just again to see what you know,
Okay.
and then we'll fix anything that we need to. Okay.
Alright. Starfox, come.
Good. Did he show any frustration like with me with walking away?
He did a little bit, but not, right now he didn't.
Okay.
When we like tried like before you did,
Okay. Okay, want to try a couple more? And you're at that 12 still?
Yeah, 12.
Let's go 15. Oh wait, wrong leash. Yeah, command gets pretty messy. And what you can do to make it a little bit easier is instead of trying to gather it together, what I do is, if you have the remote, right? And I think it's easier when it's in your hand, because when you're like this, it's going to get hard. If you have the remote right here, are you right-handed?
Yeah.
So leash in your left hand like this, over it, like that. And the remote over here. Yep. And then with these fingers, you can grab the leash and just throw it on the ground. Okay. It'll because when we start to do this and things get tangled up, right?
Yeah. So is it what is the order? Call, tap, step back, or is it all happening?
Yeah. So
simultaneously?
come first, and then the tap and step back can happen simultaneously.
Okay.
Okay. And as long as he's moving towards you, as long as you get one tap in, you're fine. Two to three steps back. If he's moving to you, if he stops moving to you, then you start tapping and moving away again. Okay. And I'll coach you through it if we get any mistakes there, because this one's very coordination heavy. Okay. Yep. Now back, right, 1, 2. That's good. That's fine. Now wait a moment. Give a tap and praise. Good boy. Good. Try one more. He didn't like when I picked him up, by the way.
He usually doesn't like me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't look like look like he was comfortable either when you picked him up.
Starfox, stop.
Good, and praise. And a boy. Yeah, and it's like when he comes to you, don't worry about reeling it all in, okay? Just as much as you can. So in case he like makes a mistake and keeps going, he doesn't have 30 feet, like it's a little bit less. So all that looked good. Any questions about that?
Yesterday, we practiced this. He tends to go past us and
Yeah.
do kind of a small loop around.
Yeah.
So would that be at the point we're tapping when he goes past us?
How far past did he go?
Probably to that tree.
Okay, that's a decent amount. So what you would do is we always want to be facing Starfox, but moving away from him. Okay. So let's say I call Starfox. It comes to me. It comes to me. But then he goes off. I would turn around facing Starfox. And move that way. Let's say he goes that way. Turn and face Starfox. Back. Move this way. Okay. So you're always facing Starfox, but always moving away from Starfox. Okay. So if you see he keeps doing that, you can also play with the number. Go a little bit higher. Typically, once you go high enough, the dogs will go straight to you because they want that to stop sooner rather than later. So then, 15, 18, 21, every time I'm practicing, I'm just playing with the number until I find like, oh, on 24, when I call Starfox, he's right here and you don't get that loop. Okay? But that's how we would correct that. So let's try, we'll try a couple of more, see if he does any with us here, and then we'll see if we can add on the next thing, okay? Do you have other questions about the recall? Okay.
Huh. He's so awkward. Good. We'll do one more. Break. Very good. Good job. All right. So now, after you've called Starfox, right, and he comes to you, if you move, so let's say you call Starfox, he's here, and like you move like this, what do you think Starfox would do? Follow you? Yes. You should stay with you. Okay. So sometimes people think, like right now, see how he's sitting at your legs? They'll think that the dog should stay there if they move away, when really the dog should follow you. Okay? So we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna add an extra step. After you call Starfox and he settles, so he goes in a sitting position, you're gonna wait a moment, and then you're gonna move to your side, or you move directly backwards. Okay? Any direction, but not forward, or forward leg. Okay? So if I move forward, what does this look like? Yes, looks like heel, okay? Or if I turn like this, it's heel forward, like this looks like heel, right? So you're gonna move very awkwardly, either move it to your side, you can either angle it or straight backwards, any way but forward, okay? So he lands, you wait a moment, move to the side, follows, good. I only do 2-3 steps, settles, and then back again, follows, settles, and to the side, follows, settles, that's all good. I'm trying to see, does he understand that once I call him, that he's with me permanently until I release him, okay? Now, we might get some confusion here, and you might see Starfox try to run off. If he does, start tapping, moving backwards, to draw him to you again, but you do not say no, okay? Questions?
Is break, is that your rules?
Oh, break is the word that I use to tell him that he's free. Do you have a different word? I can't remember. Okay, so break would be like, oh, is okay for you. Okay. Good. And then wait a moment. Good. Now here, try 2 steps. There you go. 1, 2, wait. Now try backwards. 1, 2, that's good. And then try to your right. 1, 2. And then wait. Good. Did you have to tap him? So you see how he followed you? That's how it's supposed to look, okay? So now, okay? Good. Let's try that 4 more times. Good. Good. Very good. And okay. Good. We're gonna do 3 more. Good. Good. Tap. Yep. And wait and praise. Good. Good. 2 more. He knows he's gonna call him. That's why. That's why we had the 2 leashes. Flip.
Starfox, sit.
So pull up on your collar here. Yeah, get that tangled out. There he goes.
Starfox, come.
Good. Good. Tap, tap, tap. Yep, bump it.
Oh, I went down.
Okay. Tap, tap. What's your number now? There it is. There he goes. Good. Excellent. And praise. I had a boy. And okay. Good. We're gonna do 1 more.
No, I didn't touch it. The ricochet bumped it.
Good. Good. Tap. 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 What's your number?
18.
Tap. 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 20. Tap. 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 22. Tap. Tap. 24. Tap. Right there. And praise. Good boy. Good. And okay?
Yes!
Good. Now we'll switch. Good. There, good. Good. Tap. Good. Tap. 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 Yep. Good move. Yep. You got it. Very good. And praise. And okay.
You got back. You got, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not.
Starfox.
Yes.
Good. Oh, that was nice. Good. Good. Okay. Good. We'll do 3 more. Let's try switching it up and going this way. Here, but calling them that way. Good. Good.
Hold up, dog.
Good. Good. Very good. Okay, and one more. Good. 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 Hey, Andra, try this. Step on his side, on his right side. Yeah, where you were at. I'm sorry. And just say heel and walk.
But leave the leash down. And slow to stop. Go ahead and up, turn. Now turn. There you go. And then pivot. I don't know why he'd run to me. There you go, good. And go ahead and come on in, Albert. All right. So, that was good. So with this, you get up to off-leash obedience, right? So the recall looked good, the side movements was good. And for you, he was doing really well, and then with you, was getting a little bit more distracted. But what I liked is when you were tapping him, he was coming to you. What can happen is sometimes you'll tap the dog and it'll confuse them and they'll run away. So we do this exercise for 2 reasons. One, it's to teach the dog to make sure to stay with the owner. So if I call Starfox away from like the squirrels, most dogs come back and then they go back to the squirrels again. This helps to ensure that he doesn't do that, okay? The other part of this is in case he gets confused. Right now he's still in the long leash because most people think when the dog's coming to them, like it's really good, but they don't factor in like emergency situations, and that's when it's gonna be super important. So, you know, I've had people's dogs run away from the fireworks while chasing a squirrel running towards the street. I had a client, they were like in a bush and a coyote came out, you know, like some like crazy shit like that. That's when you need the obedience to be like on point, but then also, like if it's an emergency, like let's say someone set up a firework and they scared Starfox, and you said Starfox come, he's running in fear, right? So he's not really caring about obedience in that moment, is that you would have to use the e-collar and probably, like I've had, you know, people go 127 continuous to make the dog come back, right? So we can help further prove our obedience by confusing him, right? So like, let's say I call Starfox and I tap him and he gets confused and tries to run away, well, I still have the leash now. So I can keep tapping him and I make him return. So he learns that the tap never means to run away, it always means to come back, right? So this is what, you know, we have the training phase and then we have our proofing phase. And the proofing phase is where we're trying to make this as applicable as possible to any situation, including emergency situations, okay? Right now, the way we're training, this is not realistic, right? Like, no one's gonna be holding Starfox for you, like he's gonna be running, playing, chasing something, you know, possibly running away because he's scared. That's realistic. So we do this just to practice the foundation so you can learn it. But then, like you were using the squirrels, I think, like over at the park or whatever, like that's realistic because he's distracted, he's paying attention, he's chasing something, and we're trying to recreate that as much as possible, okay? So when you work with him, just keep that in mind. If you feel like Starfox is really, really good and his recall is great, it's something that I like to do once enough work's been done, is I'll take Starfox out on the long leash and max out the collar, okay? And then just randomly, with no words, just tap the collar. Okay, it's what you're gonna get. And then I wanna see what he does next, okay? If you've done a lot of conditioning, boom, straight back, okay? So I go, great. Because now in an emergency, that's most likely where you're gonna be. You're gonna be 127, right? Because I wanna know that when he feels that, I have an idea what his response is gonna be. And if I see that, much more likely we're gonna get him to return before anything happens, okay? Or you might do 127, he yelps, tries to run away. Not a problem, because you have him on the long leash, and then I keep him, it's gonna suck, okay, it's gonna suck real bad. I keep him at 127, and I'm tapping, he's gonna be jumping and panicking, and eventually, boom, he's gonna come back. I praise him, good boy, and then I ignore him, okay, and I leave it alone for months. Because what you're trying to do is just set the foundation down, so that it's familiar for him, but also familiar for you. So when things are happening and it's a panic, like you're freaking out, the dog's freaking out, you know, and you're trying to figure out what to do, is this kind of preps you for all that. One, it gets him used to it, like, oh, 127, boom, come back, right? But it gets you used to it too, okay? Like,
anytime anybody has ever come back to me and said, Jesse, I'm so happy I did e-collar, was some crazy stuff. You know, I had a client that lives like literally a mile from here. After her second class, the dog ran away towards the street. Okay, and she had to, we didn't even do come yet. She's like, Jesse, I panicked, I didn't know what to do, but I did 127 continuous and my dog came back. And I was like, yeah, because it's either you gamble, your dog hits the street and gets hit by a car, or you gamble, it's gonna suck, but maybe I can make my dog come back. Does that make sense? So you don't have to do it, but I always suggest to people, once you feel like we've done a lot of work with Starfox, is one day out with the long leash, let him be a dog, 30 minutes out of nowhere, no words, 127. Okay, see what he does. If he shoots back to you, then that means you're most likely going to have a very high success rate should you ever have to crank it up in case of an emergency. Okay, and this is the only command I do that with. All the other commands are pretty easy, but the recall, because that's the one, if he misinterprets that or he freaks out, it's going to make him run away. Okay, so that's why we do the long leash stuff. That's why we did the last class of like the pulling and all that stuff. Is to condition him that when you feel this, you don't run away. You always run to somebody. Okay. Otherwise, I like he was doing really well with the movements, he was putting his butt down. When you had to tap him, he was coming straight back, so that was really good. And I think every time you called him, you were tapping him as well, right? Yeah, so that's all good. So you keep up with that, okay? Recall takes people the longest to teach because you have to go somewhere and you have to practice, you have to give him, you know, the freedom and then also let him be distracted and all that stuff. So don't feel like, even though he's doing really good now, like don't feel like it's 100%. Okay, I tell everybody, practice this for at least a month to a couple of months, you know, to create confusion, to create panic, work through those moments, and then you have a fairly solid recall. And people tend to progress pretty quick.
So you have to like, what do we call it, list active or?
No, we're doing it now because let's say you call Starfox, right? And he turns and he's coming to you, but you tap him too late. What do you think might happen? You're gonna go the other way. So we're trying to, I want to make sure that if Starfox feels a tap, if anything, he moves faster. Okay? So that's why we're doing that now, because we're in the proofing phase. Okay? Once you start to see, when, like let's say Starfox, like right there, there's that squirrel, right? Let's say Starfox is like chasing that squirrel, and I'm letting him have fun, and I go, Starfox, come, and right when I say Starfox, right? Boom, he's already returning, he left the squirrel super fast, I'm like, whoa, that's really good. I don't tap there. Okay, I start to give him those moments. But there should never be a delay. Because it should be as soon as you call him, it's boom, and running to you, okay? If it's a slow, like, okay, I'll come back, right? That kind of return most likely is not going to be applicable in an emergency situation. But when you have, like, and his speed's good. Like, all that stuff that I talked about is really good. So, but we're making sure that anytime you practice with them, you're getting that level of compliance. Because people tend to think like, well, the dog came. I'm like, yeah, but you have to think about in an emergency, if you're not trained really fast response, your dog's not going to die. Okay? Other questions? Good. What's today, number 5 for you? Okay, so you have one more. Do you have anything particular you'd like to cover? Okay, so what I would do for the last class is like a review. You go over everything, and I can, like you saw the heel, well, how you just had the leash drag and Starfox was right there, and he made the mistake, he ran to me, right? Which is why we have long leash now, because then you can step on it, grab it, correct him, like you would normally, you pivoted, and he came back to you, and then he came back and he sat right next to you, right? Is if you like, and you practice with him, and you take him out, maybe it's empty, you practice a recall, but then you can practice what we call long leash heel, which is you can have the leash dragging. Since he's on your right, I hold the blue handle in my left hand, so it makes a really big U behind him. Because if you hold it here, it'll get tangled up in his legs, and there's too much leash. Okay, so like this, and you can get up to no leash with the heel here. So that's why when you're walking with him right next to you, you just made a mistake. So if you would like to get that to be even better, it's literally you just keep practicing, but now you give him more freedom. Because now Starfox could run away up to 30 feet if he makes a mistake. Okay? But otherwise, that was good. Like he stuck to you, came forward and all that, and you corrected him, he came back, he sat down. That was all good. Okay? So yeah, I would do a review of anything that we covered, how you would advance it, or we could also teach a stationary command that actually might be beneficial for you, where it's like if you take them like to a restaurant or something and you don't want them to move, You want to do that? Yeah, that's easy to teach. It's easy to teach, so we cover that as well. Okay? Anything else?
Just quickly review like the procedure for letting a stranger in the house. We're gonna have some contractors in on Monday.
On Monday?
Yeah.
Because you have your Zoom sessions.
Yes.
Yeah, you have 2 of them. I can send you some videos. If you would please email me. Email me and say, Jesse, send us the door procedure. And I'll send you a couple of videos.
Oh, that's
Tomorrow, I was gonna say that's tomorrow, yeah. Is I think safest bet for now is kennel, e-collar, close the door, close the gate, calm him down. And then we can set up, I'll send you the videos so you can watch them. And then this way going forward, when you do have guests over and things like that, you have a more formal way of allowing it. Okay? Because that one's a bit more in depth. But I have a couple of videos on YouTube where we can work on that very thing. Okay? Anything else? Good job.
Thank you, Jesse.
No worries. And you did really well as well.
Thank you.
For someone who just came in, a couple of days ago.
Teacher